Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. So today I want to talk about something a little bit different, and these are things that I never put into my body or try to never put into my body. If I can read the ingredients or choose how the food is prepared, these are things that I wouldn't eat. I'm going to do 5 things for this video, and if this video does well, I'm going to do 5 things that I don't put on my skin, hair, like beauty products as well. Now this isn't to tell anyone how to live. These are things that I choose not to put into my body because of the things I know about them. And yeah, I'm not going to have any scientific papers on here. These are things that I've read over years and years of studying nutrition and food. However, if this video does super well, maybe I'll do a more scientific one in the future. All right, so let's begin. So one thing I never consume is anything heated in, or cooked in plastic, basically. So I wouldn't have something microwaved in even Tupperware or anything like that, or hot soup poured into a plastic bowl. When foods are sitting in plastic, you're already going to get a leaching of the chemicals from the plastic. Adding heat just makes that worse. Doing this can expose you to harmful chemicals that leach into your foods. These chemicals are, and I had to look up the pronunciation of this, phthalates, PFAs, and BPA, and probably other ones as well. These are endocrine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, disruptors. And so we're talking about disrupting your hormone system. They can also lead to developmental issues, probably also environmental issues, that's a different topic, and increase your risk of a plethora of diseases. I mean, it hasn't been that long in human history that we've been using plastic on such a mass scale. So I'm sure that like 100 years from now, I mean, this would be my guess, they'll look back and be like, oh, all these other diseases humans were dealing with at the time could also be partially linked to plastic exposure. I don't know, but I would just minimize your risk. I choose to minimize my own risk by, I try not to even store anything in plastic. It's kind of unavoidable. You have to use a lot of things come already in plastic, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't freeze any sort of liquids in plastic. I try not to drink any liquids in plastic. And I definitely wouldn't put anything hot or cook anything in plastic. Some people, if I'm not mistaken, literally buy plastic bags of vegetables or whatever, and you're told to steam them in the microwave in the bag. That's crazy to me. I don't think that that's good for your health. Of course, companies would want you to buy that and it seems convenient, but it's probably better you don't do that. Just my opinion from what I've read. So the next thing I don't consume is food coloring, and I'm not talking about natural food coloring. I'm talking about, everyone's talking about Red 40, we're talking about artificial food dyes, particularly synthetic ones. They raise health concerns, including possible cancer risks. There are allergic reactions and neurobehavioral issues in children. I'm sure many people have heard of ADHD correlating with artificial food dyes. This is just something, it's like ridiculous to me, because like why are all these dyes, like you can just get a sauce, like a barbecue sauce even, and you'll see caramel color, Red 40, like things like that, and I don't understand that at all. When I'm at the grocery store, I don't buy anything that has artificial color in it. There are, when I'm in the US, less so. Here in Costa Rica, sometimes I get candy that's colored like with things like spirulina or fruit juice or whatever. Obviously, I think that's fine. But yeah, I personally choose to not consume anything with artificial colors. So the third point, and this is crazy to me that this is still a problem, is hydrogenated oil / trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils. So PHOs. So hydrogenated oils and partially hydrogenated oils pose a health risk because they tend to contain trans fats. Trans fats increase LDL, bad cholesterol, and decrease HDL, good cholesterol. They also, which raises the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. The FDA has banned the use of partially hydrogenated oils in processed food due to these concerns. What's crazy to me though is that I've still seen things in the US with hydrogenated oils, and here in Costa Rica I've seen it as well. It's basically like having something with a hydrogenated oil gives it a longer shelf life, but it's not something that you should have in your body. So yeah, that's something I avoid like the plague, always have, always will, and yeah, I would recommend anyone else do the same. I mean, if you see peanut butter, you want it to be, peanut butter is a great example because I've seen many times hydrogenated oils in peanut butter because it gives it a longer shelf life, right? In my opinion, peanut butter should just be peanuts, maybe salt, if you want a sweeter peanut butter, maybe a little sugar. That simple. Sometimes they add peanut oil. I don't know if it makes it smoother, whatever. But yeah, peanut butter, that's something that's like very simple, that if you read some ultra processed peanut butters, it's like it's like not so simple suddenly. And it's just a way to sell more processed food that lasts longer, that doesn't actually serve your health. So yeah, I would avoid trans fats / look on the ingredients. Anything that says hydrogenated oil or partially hydrogenated oil, I would avoid. So the fourth thing is artificial sweeteners. This is like a big one. A lot of people want to use artificial sweeteners to reduce the amount of sugar they're consuming. That makes a lot of sense. So I understand why they're so popular, but I'm going to refer to maybe the biggest ones you see is aspartame and sucralose. Sucralose is sold under the brand name Splenda. Aspartame found in products like NutraSweet and Equal. But you see it in like Diet Cokes, things like that. I don't drink soda or anything like that, but I'm sure if you read the ingredients of anything that says diet, if it's a cola, probably has either aspartame or sucralose. There's a few other I see here that I hadn't heard of before. Acesulfame potassium, yeah, it doesn't sound like something I would want in my food. Neotame, don't know what that is. It's a derivative of aspartame, okay. Advantame, another low-calorie sweetener, and saccharin, which is sweet and low. So yeah, none of those I would want in my food. The reason I avoid artificial sweeteners is they literally can disrupt your gut health and even lead to weight gain, which is crazy because a lot of people take them to lose weight, but then there's a correlation between weight gain and artificial sweeteners. But yeah, the gut health is a big one. Furthermore, they don't taste good. They're not good for you. It's just another thing that you don't need in your diet. And yeah, there are better options. There are natural sweeteners that don't have sugar in them. Stevia was like bigger when I was younger. It doesn't taste super great, so I understand why people wouldn't want to use stevia. But one that's really great that I've been loving is monk fruit. It's a little bit fruity tasting, but yeah, that's like a calorie-free or sugar-free sweetener, which is great. And then of course you have sugar alcohols, which are probably still safer than artificial sweeteners. And then the last and probably most prominent thing where I'm living here in Costa Rica is preservatives. I avoid preservatives like the plague. They're super common here because they help preserve food, obviously, and we're in a warmer environment. Some synthetic preservatives, like certain nitrates and BHA and BHT, avoid it. At least I do. That's my decision. They've been linked to increased cancer risks, especially at high concentrations or when cooked at high temperatures. So literally, you're eating something, you then cook it at high temperature to eat it, and then it is more toxic. That sounds horrible. So yeah, I would avoid preservatives. Just keep your eyes out for those things when you're reading ingredients lists. A lot of times you see like there are natural preservatives. Like sometimes you see vitamin E / I think it's pronounced tocopherol. Vitamin C sometimes used as a preservative. So ideally you're buying food that is less processed, fresher, things like that. Stuff that's been sitting on a shelf, that is made to sit on a shelf for a long time, is more likely to contain the ingredients I just listed. And that's intentional, obviously, to preserve these things or make them more appealing somehow. That being said, if you're able to focus more on whole foods, I think it would benefit everybody. That's been my experience, though. I can't speak for the world, but yeah, those are the 5 things that I always avoid when reading ingredients lists and at the grocery store. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if it does well, maybe I'll do a more sciencey one with like actual research papers and studies linked to it. And then stay tuned because I do think I'm going to actually do one about like skincare beauty products because I'm very particular with that as well. Yeah, health is super important to me. Of course, the things I'm saying here are things that I apply to my life. I'm not telling you how to live yours. They're things I would recommend to my friends and family, just maybe you don't want to use those things or eat those things. So yeah, until next time, bye!